missed that, or if I was told I forgot to write it down. I'm writing it down now, and I will try to make some of those all
You know,
year.
it happens. It really does. In the winter, I try to have a Zoom option available, because we do have some people that travel a
Mhm.
decent ways. But in the summer, it's not usually worth it because we're either working in a garden or it's not in a spot that's conducive to Zoom.
Yeah.
Only take Zoom so many places. But in the winter, I try to do more education. In the summer, it's more volunteer opportunities.
I will share a link to the agenda here in the chat. Well, let's see here. We didn't have a warm-up question yet on here. I believe Jan was going to facilitate today, but I haven't heard from her. So I'll go ahead and I will lead the welcome and introductions. And so as a warm-up question, back to school is right around the corner. So fall is coming up. So I guess what is your favorite thing about August? Kind of a general question. But also please share your name, your location, and your affiliation, and I'll go ahead and go first. And I kind of like the popcorn model, so I'll call on someone, and then the person after me will call on someone else until we've finished up. And so my name is Jenna Nieders. I am based out of Bismarck. I work with farms, and I am also the board secretary for NDLFTA. And my favorite thing about August is, it's not as hot. I would usually say the rain, but if you're somewhere in Bismarck and you were flooded out this week, you'd probably disagree with me. So I will just say, not as hot and more river time activities. And I will popcorn to Emily Howe.
All right, my name is Emily Howe and I work with NDSU Extension. I'm a county agent in Ward County, so Minot area. My favorite thing about August, I don't know, I feel like it's my least favorite month. I grew up in Texas, so it was always 110 plus degrees in August. It was back to school in August, and I just don't really enjoy it. I guess my tomatoes are coming in really well, so my favorite thing about August this year is my tomatoes. Sorry, I'm popcorning to Candace Anderson.
Hello, I'm Candace. I'm with Red River Harvest Cooperative. And favorite thing about August, I'm realizing that like I'm not in the school mode for myself, or I don't have kids, so I'm not in that mode. So for me, it feels like summer is like an extra 2 months. So enjoying that part of it. I'm not sure what that will be weather-wise, but yeah, feeling like that extension of time is really nice. I will popcorn to Katie.
Everyone, I'm Katie Jonke. I'm the Nutrition Services Coordinator at Bismarck Burley Public Health. And my favorite thing about August is back to school. As we head into routine. I mean, I love summer, but I'm a sports girl and all three of my kiddos are in fall sports. So it gets really exciting for us when this time of year comes around. I will popcorn it to Mitch.
Turn on my video here. Sorry. Mitch Calkins, Lake Agassiz Regional Council. I guess my favorite thing of August is football season's around the corner. So something to look forward to. And I got on late, so I don't know who all went.
Not too many yet, so go ahead.
Then. Quinn, have you gone?
Hey guys, Quinn Renfant here, board president, Red River Harvest Cooperative, also representing the Growers Association. I don't see anyone else on here from that, so I'll take that role. And also a farmer up in Minot, North Dakota, calling in from Minot. Currently harvesting some microgreens. Favorite thing about August, I don't know. It's probably with Emily. I don't really like August. It's kind of in between month of like July being just, the height of summer, and then just that transition month that's like hit or miss weather-wise. I love September when fall actually rolls around, assuming that we actually get a September like fall in North Dakota. But yeah, August has always just been that awkward month. I will popcorn to Sandra.
Hi, Sandy Shively. I'm with North Central Planning Council. I would say ditto to Quinn and whoever else said the same thing. July would be my favorite month. Anytime between like June 15th and maybe the first week in August is I live for those weeks. The rest of the year. But if birthday month, I guess August is my birthday month, so I guess that would be maybe my favorite thing. And let's see. About has Dawn gone yet?
I have not. Dawn Rognerud. I am president for Town Square Farmers Market here in Grand Forks. I am also a food policy committee lead for Blue Zones Project Grand Forks, and board member for North Dakota Local Food Development Alliance. I guess I'm with everybody else. August is not really my favorite month, and I am going to be a little weird, even though I love the farmers market. Neither are summer months. I much prefer fall or winter, and so I guess the best thing about August is the fact that harvest is coming. And I will popcorn over to Kendra.
Thanks, Dawn. Hi, I'm Kendra Rosencrans. I work for the Red River Regional Council in Grafton, although I am physically located in Kirkland, Washington. And at the moment, I'm serving as the technical assistance person with the regional, as part of that regional food business center. Here's my North Dakota street cred. Grew up in Hettinger. My dad was the county extension agent from 1968 to into the 90s, and then he was a community and leadership development specialist. So extension all the way. If you're an extension kid, you know, you're kind of like you get all the stuff, right? 4-H or went to NDSU. And my grandparents are from the White Earth, McGregor, Tioga area, and we have a Century Farm up there. So my egg history goes from cattle and crops to we had pigs and a big garden. And I'm enjoying being able to jump back into this. It reminds me, and August reminds me, when I was younger, it was Achievement Days. School wasn't starting quite as early. And this was Achievement Days, which was, you know, the culmination of everything for the summer. So I'm nostalgic for that. And I will popcorn over to Tracy.
Hi, Tracy Redlin. I'm from the Regional Council in Jamestown. And I like the cool mornings or cooler mornings and cooler afternoons because I like riding horse at those times. I will send it to Serena.
Hi guys, I'm Serena Weeks with Tri-County Regional Development Council. We're in Region 1 in Williston. And my favorite thing about August is just sunshine. I spend a lot of time on my deck and I just love it. And I'm gonna popcorn over to Sherelle.
Hi, I'm Sherelle. I'm also Tri-County Regional Development Council. My favorite thing about August, that's a tough one. Probably the mornings or the evenings are a little bit cooler.
We don't know who all has gone.
I believe Michelle and Alex and Hope are left, if I haven't left anyone else. So Michelle, if you want to introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm an intern with Farms, and I do not have much appreciation for August. It leaves me so hot all the time and red-faced that I just want to run. So I do look forward to September. I'm over in the Bismarck Mandan area. I'll select Hope.
So that is actually a good segue because Alex and Hope are going to be our intern presenters. So I will let Alex and Hope introduce themselves here. I will give themselves about 10 minutes for you guys today since Michelle is going to do her presentation next month. And you can take over screen sharing to do your presentation. But so in addition to Michelle here in the Bismarck area, Alex and Hope are my Farms food system interns in the Fargo area. They've been working at Jen Skoog's Our Family Rips Farm in Christine, North Dakota, and at the Red River Harvest Cooperative. And they've put together an independent project to present to us today. So.
Hello. Hi, everyone. We're on the same one. So just so everyone knows if that's strange.
Yeah.
Let us just screen share real quick.
We're gonna figure out how to screen share here. 1 second. Start run. Here, we'll try this. And then Okay, is this working?
Yes.
Oh, okay. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to be discussing today is marketing within local food systems. So for our agenda, we'll do a quick introduction and then we'll talk about our development process. And then we'll go over our project and some of our experience and challenges. And then we'll have ending remarks and some time for questions. So first off, what is marketing? So marketing is basically the spread of information and ideas. And then who are we marketing to? As in like, who is local food marketing to? And so mainly within local food, marketing has been to people ages like 30 to 50, because they're the main demographic of people who are buying local food. Since we're younger, we wanted to expand that to people younger, like college age people. So like 18 to
those just like pretty much starting out with college.
Yeah.
Into like that 20 range.
Mm-hmm. So there's a variety of platforms to market on, and they all have like very distinct uses. You can word of mouth is a great way to spread information and market your products and things, but that's not always a viable option. So there's also like email and social media is a great marketing option. And we wanted to explore, so for the most part, producers will utilize Facebook as their primary social media platform because their demographic that they're marketing to primarily is on Facebook. But since we wanted to
expand that younger demographic, a big one we were thinking was Instagram. So, because that is for the younger demographic at the moment in time. So that's where we decided on making an Instagram for our big final project here. So there's like a little show of it, but here's the next slide. So the basics of branding. A big thing that we wanted to do was make sure that we had a catchy title and logo, but it also standed out from other type of platforms, so people would want to even go to ours. So a big thing we wanted to work on first was the title. And being college students, we were like, what would appeal to the college students? What would also appeal to that younger demographic? I feel like there's a bunch of nutritional sites and everything like that on Instagrams. So how could we be different? So a big thing we thought about was college students and, you know, being self-assured about certain things because they're at that time where they're learning and everything like that and have questions. So that's how we came up with self-assured farming as our title. That helped evolve with our logo, where we chose a magnifying glass, magnifying into some lettuce growing, to kind of like magnify into the situation. And then we have the ladybug because they're so small, but when you magnify, you can kind of see more things. But we also chose ladybug because it was cute.
Yeah.
And it shows a little difference there. And then for our short bio here, we said just 2 interns with farms, self-assuring people in knowledge of a farm to table experience. And then we just wanted to put like a little overview of what we would try to show within our Instagram, which is like recipes, farming, and like tips like that. So what a big thing we wanted to do was make sure the formatting looked nice. Like we went through on different Instagrams, like we looked at farms, we looked at other people's Instagrams and saw, okay, how do they format it? What are nice ways to make it look neat and tidy so people actually want to look at it? We really wanted to emphasize on that farm to table aspect because it's a huge thing within the local food
it's a saying that's brought up a lot.
Yeah, it's just
food.
a lot.
Yeah.
So a big thing we wanted to do was actually construct our Instagram like that. So Instagram has it where there is 3 columns. So we were like, oh, that's actually perfect. So we really made where the 1 column was a farm column, where you have our farm tips that we got from Jen, our other like different farmers that we got to meet from the co-op, or just got to experience through Farms Connections. The 2 section is more just like photos that we weren't able to post in these other segments. They also could be field days, which we were able to do with farms that, you know, you couldn't usually probably post in these other sections. And they're also like highlights or spotlights. Spotlights would be like the co-op who gave us helpful tips and tricks. We were even able to go under like to the Mana co-op and get to spend time with them with their White Earth project, where they package up meals. We've been able to do where we go to other farms as well and get to learn different tricks for them. And then the table aspect is that one where it's like recipes. So if you're there, you know, you have all your ingredients, but you have no idea what to make. We wanted to make it where you could easily just keep scrolling down. There's just a recipe there on the side, and you just kind of have to choose. Like, let's say if you have rhubarb and you're not sure what to really make with rhubarb, we have a rhubarb pancake recipe there. Just those things that you wouldn't usually think you could make, that a college student would usually make. But it's a more nutritional option.
So here are just some like photos from what we've done during our internship. Farms paired us with 2 awesome organizations, the Red River Harvest Cooperative and Family Roots Farm. At Family Roots Farm, we were able to get more experience on like hands-on farming and see the production side of it. And then at the Harvest Cooperative, we got to see all the like local connections that were created through a cooperative and see how farmers all come together with all their produce and how that actually gets distributed to people.
Especially how that community can be influenced as well. Just seeing that behind the scenes and then the forefront.
So within our Instagram and within this whole experience, managing burnout has been a huge thing that we've had to contend with because it's all been like a lot of work to work on, and we've really had a lot easier time with that. Sorry. We've had an easier time with that because of the fact that there's 2 of us and we can collaborate with each other. And so when we have different skill sets, we come together and are able to create something better out of that. And then here's just some photos from the overall, like, some more photos, and we're going to open it up for a Q&A at this point. Sorry about that.
Question for both of you. In terms of what you were looking to get out of this internship in the beginning and kind of where you are now in your understanding of things, do you feel that you answered the questions you had for yourselves?
Yeah, I think I've learned a lot more about the questions that I had going into this internship, and Jen has really helped facilitate a lot of that. Going into the internship, I was actually really interested in learning more about like Indigenous food sovereignty, and we even had a meeting on that earlier in the summer, which was really cool to learn about.
I honestly, to be honest, I didn't have a whole concept going in. I knew a big thing is I really wanted to look more into like the local food aspects. Growing up, I was always kind of shown like farmers markets and everything like that. Like, oh, like what's the process behind that? Like what's behind the scenes? And it's just very interesting to see how, you know, there is that community that really can come together. And it's just like different than other communities. It's just kind of cool to see how all of that can be put together and how much people can rely on each other to create such an atmosphere. Yeah.
You have any other questions?
What's one thing that surprised each of you or something new that you learned over the course of your internship?
No, that's kind of a hard question. I don't know. It's not really that hard, but there's just like a lot that I feel like I've learned. It's hard to pinpoint like one specific thing. Oh, when Jen got baby chicks and baby guineas, we got to see those like up close, and that was really cool. I think that was probably one of the most interesting things to learn that how like baby guineas will get like abandoned by their parents almost because the parents are so fast. And so when Jen is raising them, she has to actually feed them chicken eggs and stuff so that they'll survive.
What Alex kind of said though earlier was that it's so hard to choose a certain point because there was just so many great people we got to meet and so many things we got to learn, like even through the Zooms that we got to see speakers on, there was like different concepts to learn and everything like that. I would say it would just be great, again, like that whole community aspect and seeing that forefront and just how it can be applied to certain younger groups. I know I got to go and be a part of a farmers market to help Jen, and it was interesting to get to see people from the actual co-op. So it was nice to see like that community, but then also kind of just seeing that age gap. So I don't know. It's just, it would be nice to get to where it's like, it feels like it's okay for everyone. But it is a very, I would say a big thing is that it was just a great learning experience overall with everything that can be applied.
Kendra, you had a question?
Yes, I do. I'm really curious. I'm the one who wrote very demure, very mindful. I'm curious about the you're framing the, what was it, self-assured. There, you've actually used a lot of really useful and important sort of ways of framing and building out your Instagram design, and I was really caught on that, and I'd like to know a little bit more. Because I think that's really important. Self-assured farming. It feels like this is super important, particularly for connecting to the folks that you are aiming to connect to. Can you help us understand more and how to use it?
Oh, yeah, sure. So this profile is on Instagram. It's accessible to anyone. For use for other people, if you go on there, you can look at the recipes, you can
I was meaning the term self-assured. That was new to me. Like that was important. You just glossed over that, but that was really important language and an understanding of your audience, and to know more or how I can learn more about that, because I feel like that was an insight that I wouldn't have.
Yeah, so it's all about like, our main thing was we wanted to build confidence in young people in the local food system. And so by self-assuring people in farming and this whole like farm to table concept, that's like the main goal of it, is just to like bring confidence into young people into how they can get involved in their local food system.
Is self-assured, is that like a term in use among
A use among what? Sorry.
Okay, so I have a 23-year-old, a 20-year-old, and a 16-year-old in my house. And so like in reaching, this term self-assured seems really important in being able to reach people and like building that confidence. I won't ask you to go into this more, but it feels like that is really super important for if people are going to find you through this term self-assured, then that's an important thing for us to keep track of. Does that make sense to you guys?
I think so, sort of.
I
Like,
would
you're
never
saying-
have marketed farmers markets through this
Yeah.
idea of self-assured as the term that people might be looking for. You know, because it's important to be able to be found on Instagram.
Right. Yeah,
So I think it's super important.
Yeah, that wasn't something that we necessarily considered quite as much. We wanted a name that like stood out and was differentiable from other organizations. We went through a lot of name like generation at the beginning of our process, and a lot of names were just already taken. And so this was just the one that we kind of landed on. I think it's a really good name for what we're trying to do. I don't know that it's necessarily the most easy to find, but I do think that it's worked for us. So
awesome. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Alex and Hope. I will go ahead and stop sharing your screen. We'll move on. And so thank you again, Alex and Hope. And I will make sure in the NDLFA updates that go out, we can share a link to the Instagram Self-Assured Farming so we can all follow. Self_assured_farming. If you have Instagram, you want to go find it right now. But so for the next 20 or so minutes, we are discussing, and you know, a good segue again in collaboration and creating community is reflections on the North Central Regional Food Business Summit that we held at the beginning of August. And so we have a lot more members today, I think, from our various regions that I'm used to seeing. So I'm excited to hear some of your reflections and your feedback. And so I just wanted to open it up for those who were there for the evening keynote and those who did the IDI assessment. The IDI was the Intercultural Development Inventory. If you had a chance to talk with Dawn individually, I actually did get to speak with her individually about my results, and I was about on par with the group. If anyone wanted me to go over that, I can here in a moment, but I just wanted to open it up for comments on the IDI or about the evening banquet keynote with Liz Fielder, the Sunny Mary Meadow. As a refresher, Sunny Mary Meadow, Liz Fielder, she had taken over her in-laws farm, and then she lost her husband from a heart attack at age 39. And so it was kind of her story of how through her business of bouquets, she would do bouquets, but she'd also donate to nursing homes. And so I thought that was a very powerful story to start off with. And the IDI I found to be interesting as well. And that kind of measured where we are on like cultural awareness and our perception, and then you know where we actually are with acceptance or adaptation or polarization. So it was kind of an interesting way of how we all view you know different cultures and what we view as cultures to begin with. So that was the evening of August 6th, and then the 7th was the bulk of the summit, starting with the morning keynote.
Can we back up a second? I think we have a few people in the room who not only were not at the summit, but may not have a clear background of what the summit was and what its purpose was.
Sure.
Would you like me to give the context, or would you like to?
Yeah, absolutely, Stephanie, if you'd like to give the context. Thank you.
Yeah. So for those of you that that are unfamiliar with the North Central Regional Food Business Center, I know a few of you, like Emily, hasn't been directly involved with that, and some of the interns haven't been as directly involved. We are part of this USDA funded initiative that includes all of the regional planning councils, North Dakota Farmers Union, North Dakota Women's Business Center. The goal is to grow mid-tier value chains and support local food businesses in scaling up. So we've been working all year. We had a round of grants called the Business Builder Grants. And so once a year, we meet with our counterparts from Minnesota and South Dakota to share ideas, get a deeper grounding in local food systems work and how to support local food systems, because a big part of this is connecting the economic development community to the local foods community, because we need each other. In order to grow our local food systems, we need the economic development community and all of the knowledge and resources that you all have. So yeah, so we met August 6th and 7th in Fargo for 2 days. So that just wanted to give that background. So was the question about what folks thought about the presentation by the Undersecretary for Marketing and Regulatory, the AMS Undersecretary, Jennifer Lester Moffitt?
Yeah, so I just kind of included the main points kind of from the agenda throughout the day as a reminder of who we had speaking and what we were doing throughout the day. We don't necessarily have to speak on each one. It was just kind of a breakdown of the day to open for comments. I particularly, I enjoyed your panel discussion, Stephanie. I enjoyed the more collaborative discussions. And I, like I said, I enjoyed the night before. It was a very powerful way to start off. I am not super familiar with the USDA Undersecretary, Jennifer Lester Moffitt, but I also felt her and Cheryl's discussion, just like having the discussion just at the table, that was a nice touch. It made it feel a little bit more casual.
Candace from Red River Harvest Co-op. I really enjoyed being there for the small section of time that I could be there. The panel was great. And the mental health segment, the woman who spoke about her work, and uplifting mental health challenges in the farming community, and in our communities, I feel like that was really powerful. And it was just really neat to see technical assistance folks from the tri-state region, like all really excited about the projects that they're doing and the people that they're working with and moving things forward. It was just really great energy. So yeah, I was grateful to be able to go.
How did you enjoy your gift basket that you won, Candace?
I never win anything like that. That was really fun. Yeah, it was neat. People were asking about stuff, so I got to gift some things too to people who were like, "What's the Freddy's Lefse? What's that?" I'm like, "Oh, here, you have to try this." Like, and everyone was giving tips and stuff, so that was a ton of fun too. And yeah, digging into the honey and yeah, some really great stuff in there. So yeah, thank you.
I think, yeah, the focus on mental health, Candace. We had our farms tour on Monday of last week. Yeah, it's already been a week. And I asked all of our farmers who were on our panel and then our organic farmers how they manage burnout and how they relax and take time for themselves. And so really nice too that Alex and Hope touched on that in their presentation, but none of them gave me answers that were would reflect that they're getting 8 hours of sleep or that they're eating enough throughout the day. And so I definitely think that focus on the mental health, it seems to be our North Dakotan and our Midwestern culture is very like we'll get through it. It's August, it's fine, we'll get through it. But it's good to stop and remind ourselves, even if sometimes it's going to take us a little while to get to the point where we're actually going to follow those directives and work less, but definitely important.
I think an important takeaway from the mental health session was our farmers are working in a system that kind of forces them to burn out just to survive. And so what can we as food systems builders do to create a system that's more equitable and just, and so that our farmers don't have to struggle just to stay afloat and burn themselves out just to make a living.
I know that NDSU has several different resources for this. We do have a rural farms program and initiative that offers free QPR training. If you haven't taken that training, it's a really good training, really heavy training on suicide prevention and awareness. So I think that's a good start to utilize that training and getting that out to as many people as possible.
Yeah, I have taken a QPR training in the past in my previous positions. So yeah, thank you, Emily, for bringing that up. Definitely. I'm not sure if Monica had discussed her own Eyes on the Horizon, her business, but QPR is the one that I had heard of in terms of training. And so I'm not sure if there are some others, but if you have any information on that, if you want to share a link, please feel free and we'll share that out to our member base as well.
I'm going to put a link in the chat too for a podcast that Monica shared with us called Transformation from the Red River Farm Network.
I know I have taken to when I pick up my CSA box, I bring a sandwich for my local farmer. I've heard enough that he hasn't eaten, so I'm like, here's a sandwich. It's ironic I'm picking up a box of veggies for you, but here, I figure I say a lot. They feed us, so we can feed them too. Community building. As far as the breakout sessions, I got to sit in with Arlene Jones, the director of Sprout, and I thought that her whole story was very very interesting, and I think it would be a good idea for me to reach out on NDLFDA and see if she'd like to speak to us. Dawn, did you get to sit on it? I saw you turned your camera on, so if you wanted to say something.
Oh, I do, but I'd also just finished lunch, so. Yeah, I agree with you, Jenna. Her presentation was really, really great. A lot of good takeaways about working together as a group of people to, really leveraging strengths to accomplish things, which is how they did a lot of their stuff with Sprout. So her story was really great. I did appreciate some of the financial stuff from, oh, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on her name now. It was great that presentation was great, kind of the resources that are available that not everybody might know about. And I wish I would have been able to sit a little bit more into Stephanie's presentation and just kind of learn more about that. So I might have to pick your brain later, Stephanie.
Sure.
Yeah, Stephanie, I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you wanted to discuss your experience with the panel, or I saw you had kind of been chatting with Levi and Skya, so maybe if you learned any great insights from them, or if not, we can move on as well. I don't want to put anyone on the spot.
Well, yeah, that panel was a lot of fun, and maybe kind of the nuts and bolts of what we're doing with the Regional Food Business Center. So in each state, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, each partner has a role to play. So the regional planning councils are technical assistance providers. North Dakota Farmers Union is a coordinator. North Dakota Women's Business Center is the evaluator. And North Dakota Local Food Development Alliance, led by farms in this case, is the title is Technical Assistance Advisory Member, but really I think it's a connector between the economic development and the people with their boots on the ground actually growing and marketing local food. So in Minnesota, that connector is the Latino Economic Development Center. And in South Dakota, it's Akiptan, which is a Native American CDFI. So they focus on lending and financing for Native American indigenous-led businesses across the entire nation, really. So it's exciting to see that this project has a concerted focus on reaching populations that are previously underserved. So instead of, it's often just kind of an afterthought or like thrown in to beef up your grant application so that you get the grant award. But I see that Cheryl designed this project intentionally so that we would all think about how can we reach those farmers, those Native American farmers, those, you know, BIPOC growers, those rural, you know, small scale growers who've previously been left out of the conversation and ignored. And so our roles, Farms, Akiptan, and Latino Economic Development Center, is to build those bridges. So we talked about, you know, how can you build trust with those communities? How can you better reach them? So I shared some of the things we do at Farms, like all of our programming, educational programming happens between November and end of March, early April. Aside from that, you know, April through end of October, farmers are farming. That's what they're supposed to be doing. And so we don't want to add to their stress by expecting them to attend events or come to a class or a workshop. We do a lot of our programming online to make it accessible. We always pay any speakers. A lot of our programming is farmer led. We try to do farmer socials to create those personal connections. So I think all three of us really talked about listening, showing up, meeting farmers and populations where they're at instead of expecting them to come to you, making sure things are accessible, and just focusing on growing those relationships before trying to, you know, do things or change things or whatever. I don't know. I'm happy to share more offline. I don't want to hog the rest of the meeting.
Any more reflections to add to the North Central Regional Food Business Center Partners Summit? It does. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mitch.
I like to reiterate the Sprout presentation was really informative. How they, I don't know, I guess to say kind of jerry rig kind of stuff as they go along, looking for different funding opportunities, especially like innovative ones that think of for a food hub. They got grants for art and like cultural programming, and just kind of working with what they have and trying to build as you go. Sometimes you see these things or of that sort that someone starts it and it got too big too fast and it failed. But Sprouts has been going on for a long time, and yeah, I think they got a good model. So hopefully continue in the future.
I want to add to that. We had Arlene Jones from Sprout come to our North Dakota monthly call. Was it the North Dakota call or was it a office hours? I think it was a North Dakota monthly call organized by Amanda McLean from Farmers Union. And I think Amanda records those. I will see if we could share that recording. Yeah, they're all on YouTube. I will ask Amanda's permission, and if she gives it, we could share that recording with the NDLFDA via email or something.
Yeah, thank you, Stephanie. We'll share that out, and then yeah, with the links we also got from Emily and your link that you shared as well. So that kind of brings us to member updates and NDLFDA updates. So I'll go ahead and open the floor for any member updates. So any updates that you have at your organization, events, any of that kind of good stuff you'd like people to know about, get the word out about, or like to share.
I received a event thing today I can send out about a cover crops field day if anybody is interested in learning about cover crops for September 10th, 11th, and 12th. And they're going to have locations in Minot, Dickinson, and Williston. Starts at 9:30 with coffee and donuts, which is always a great start, and goes through soil health, how cover crops affect that, water retention, current research, that sort of thing. And drop that link in. That is something that might be interesting to local growers.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a lot of people would be interested. I know my ears are perked up, but for farms, as far as sharing farms updates, we have some of our events coming up. So in 2 days, which is crazy. So in 2 days, we have our local food and fun at Between Two Cities Farmers Market. So if you're on the eastern side of the state near Fargo, please come join us at the Hillsboro Between Two Cities Market from 4:30 to 6:30. 4:30 to 6, 4:30 to 6:30. We'll have a giveaway basket with a lot of really cool local goodies. And the entire list is on our Facebook page if you want to check it out. It's like a whole chicken, some ground beef. It's all donated from the vendors who are attending that evening. So it's a pretty good goodie basket. And we've made up a kind of cool passport of our vendors with their bios and their information. We've worked really hard on that. So please come out and see us. Farm staff will be there. And then on the 28th, so about a week after that, we're doing our Fargo Farm Tour, which is a bus tour from 12 to 8. We're going to see 10-7 Acres, Exit 44 Flowers, and at Crooked Lane Farm. There's a pollinator party and a buzz and wine event. And we are selling tickets for that. So you have to check out our website. And then Stephanie,
Menoken Farm asked us to share the Sustainable Ranchers Tour, which will be September 11th and September 12th at Black Leg Ranch. There's a welcome reception from 5 to 7 p.m. at Blackleg Brew at the brewery at Blackleg Ranch. That's on the 11th, and then the 12th, it goes all day from 7:30 in the morning to 4 p.m. Speakers include Jeremy and Jace Doan and Jay Fur, Callie Ryder, and a conversation with Mark Schatzker, who wrote Steak, the Dorito Effect, and the End of Craving. So looks like registration is at trustedbeef.com. And then Jenna shared the farms events page where you can find registration for the August 28th event, which we're looking forward to.
Any other community updates or organizational updates that you'd like to share? And if you don't have anything now, but later, definitely just send to our email and we can add it to our list of updates to send out to our member list as well. We can always send out updates that way too.
I think we're going to be at some, there's several different events in September that we will be at that people might be interested in. I think I think we were asked to share information about the UTTC summit.
Yes, the Intertribal Food and Sovereignty Innovation Summit. So that is the 4th and the 5th, with registration happening on the 3rd. And yes, Edwin did ask for that to be shared out, so we'll include that in our update email. But it's a 2-day conference summit at UTTC with various breakout sessions and some listening sessions for farms, which is not us with 2 R's, but the other more tech, I think I want to say they're more tech oriented.
NDSU grant, National Science Foundation funded project in partnership with Grand Farm.
Yes. And so with lunch and some evening activities on the 4th. So, and then coincidentally, right after that, the International Powwow starts. So if you're from the Bismarck area or near it, definitely don't want to miss that. It's always a really great community event to come out to. And then outside of that, there is a Fargo, or not a Fargo, but a growing community food forest on September 9th, which is going to be in Moorhead in the evening. I don't have like a flyer or any official details on that, but if you want more information, let me know and I can have Felicity send that out. No problem, Serena. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining. We'll hopefully see you next time. Serena said she had to leave a little early. And let's see here. Various farmers markets throughout the month. Sorry, Candace, go ahead.
That Food Partners event is 4 to 7 on September 9th. We'll have a tour, a walking tour of the orchards, hoping to have some samples made from those apples. We'll have other nonprofits there, just have with different activities and stuff, and a nature walk as well. So it should be a cool event.
Yes, I'm excited for that, with learning and educational activities from the vendors there too. So come to farms and we'll have some fun activities for you. And Pitchfork and Hoe gathering, that is on September 8th, I believe. It's a Saturday. So a lot of things happening. September 7th, excuse me. Farms will be presenting, I'll be presenting presentation about community and building community and thriving sustainable communities. And there's a lot of other presenters there as well, like Teresa Podol, Karen Boom. So some great homesteading presentations for that day as well. So a lot of events occurring. We'll send reminders out and kind of have a list to go out to our members. So does anyone else have any updates they'd like to share?
Yeah, I just have a, sorry, Stephanie.
Go ahead, Mitch.
Okay. Yeah, so Lake Agassiz got a grant through USDA it's for the Rural Energy for America program. We got some money for the next few years to help pay for energy audits for growers and farmers and really just any business in rural areas. So kind of replacing outdated equipment and all that. Just trying to, essentially the goal of it is to save money for the business owner. But one of the main things is we're going to use those funds to help pay for the energy audit because, you know, sometimes it's had the auditor come out and take a look at everything and maybe it doesn't pencil out everything. So gonna help remove that barrier and then hopefully we'll kind of help them apply for a grant through the REAP program. So more information will come out, but I just want to quickly share that.
And Candace, yeah, there you go.
I was just gonna share one last event. Our local plate is at Doubting Thomas Farms on September 14th. We'll have chef demos, Beth Dooley, who's a food writer, and James Beard award-winning chef and food writer. We'll be there in the morning for a special session, and then we'll have events throughout the day. Candace Stock from Burn Bombs will be doing a forage food demo. I believe there's a mulching demo and a bunch of kids activities. And the main event's 11 to 3 that day. The Beth Dooley piece is in the morning from like 9 to 10:30. So you can find us on Facebook, our local plate, or you can reach out to me too. Thank you.
Mr. Sandy, I have a question for Mitch. Mitch, does your program allow you to do those audits statewide, or were you just looking at your region?
It's statewide.
Okay. And is there a timeline on those? Like how long was you said 2 years was your award?
3, if I remember correctly.
3. Okay. Okay. And will there be a cost to the producer for those audits at all?
No, not for the audits. Assuming that the results come back and say, you know, do X, Y, and Z for your business, you'll save a certain amount of money. Then you apply for a grant through USDA, and there's cost share for that to actually do the energy efficiency improvements.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I will wrap it up. On the agenda, we have a couple of NDLFDA upcoming meetings. So the board of directors next meeting will be September 13th, Friday, September 13th, the next Friday the 13th. And then a few days after that, we'll have our next NDLFDA monthly on Tuesday, September 17th. All the updates and events we have here will send out in our reminder email afterwards too. So, and if you forgot to add anything, please just send us an email and we'll share it out as well. So thank you all for coming. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And yeah, thank you. Have a good one.